Juicy Ketchup 2341 versus Fianchetto 66 2157. We have an English opening, the Carl's Bremen system. Black says, I want to build a center. That's how you can interpret the c6 move. I will establish 2 pawns in the center, says black. So how will white strike at the eventual black center consisting of d5 and e5? d4 springs to mind, but maybe not just yet. I think you could consider knight f3 first, and you get into a very critical line after e4, knight g5, I think. I can't say for certain, but d4 still, I think, is a move. d4 takes, queen takes, d5, and then maybe knight f3. I don't know. I'll wait to see how white plays it out. I don't know. I'm not sure of how exactly white should be responding. d4 and knight f3 are the ones that come to mind. So we could be seeing a very critical line here. Now, d6, I think, would turn out to be a success for white. If black says, oh, you know what, I'm going to abandon that plan. I'm not going to go to establish a pawn on d5. I'm going to put on the brakes here a little bit and just play a single step to d6 and babysit a pawn. Black says, no, I will throw this pawn down your throat. I will gain some space with tempo, and now we have the counter punch. Knight g5, he's hit twice, defended once. d5 is the way to go. You played c6 to play d5. Might as well do it because he wants to breathe. You want to hang on to a pawn. And now this d pawn needs to play to d3 or d4. One of these two. d3 throws another punch at this pawn. I actually have some experience on the white end out of this variation. Minimal experience from this particular line. And what is that? What is this? No way. I don't understand. What am I missing here? Oh, we're just going for 2 pawns. Okay. Oh, okay. So white is just saying, you know what? Hey, my knight, they're tricky. You know, knights are tricky, but they're expendable. I don't need my knight. What does white have as compensation? Well, they have 2 strong central pawns, but unfortunately maybe I'm too quick to call them strong because right now they're sitting home. They're not doing a whole lot, are they? They're sitting on d2 and e2. They don't have a presence in the center just yet. So we're still waiting to see how white makes use of this imbalanced position. Can these central pawns get working and maybe kick around the black pieces? This pawn is passed, but he is as far off from passed as you can possibly be. d4, d5, e4, e5. Can these guys get rolling? I don't know. Black has a lead in development. How many moves does white still need? 1, 2. Needs 2 moves. But there's already tricks with discovered attacks against the queen. You can't even get d4 in. Ideally, you would want to have d4. I mean, you don't want to go just d3. If you're going to move your d pawn, you want to get him to d4 and do just that in one shot. I don't see that happening. So the queen drops back, but she's still accessible. She's on an open file, so you could already anticipate an additional tempo. Once the rook plays to c8, the queen will have to move yet again. Bishop e6 looks good. Maybe even just giving up this knight, or a pawn, excuse me. Bishop e6 is certainly something to consider. Giving up yet another pawn, if white is going to give up their light square bishop, I think they're crazy. I really do. Because this bishop is going to turn out to be the big bad wolf, right? He will occupy this diagonal, and you can anticipate some kind of a mate on g2 or h1. Are we going to have that? Or then again, there's even, after bishop takes knight, black could say, you know what? I'm going to hang on to all my pawns. I'm going to play rook to c8. Pin city. And then recapture with the rook. And then what do you have to show for giving up your light square bishop for the knight? Not a whole lot. Even on time, and now d3. So black is clearly... Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt that black is better in this position? 2 minutes, 28 seconds each. Still needing to complete development. White has to move the queen again. This bishop, I'm assuming, will do well to be on f6, pointing right at b2, making white think a little bit more about the deployment of this bishop on c1. Okay, knight here seems pretty appealing. Double attack on the queen. Possibilities for taking on e2 with check. You don't have to do it right away either. Maybe you could prep it in somehow. Bishop f6. Knight here. No, knight here right away looks good. Knight here, if queen d2, rook c2 hits the queen and indirectly hits e2. e2 would fall. All the cards will come crumbling down at that point. The pawn with check, and then the bishop, and then this is smashed open. I think the queen has to go back home. She's not going back home, which means we're going to be seeing a pig on the second rank. Ouch. Queen e3, it's a tough day at the office right now. Actually, queen here, close to being trapped. Queen here, rook takes pawn. The queen has to go back to c1. She's getting so many punches thrown at her. She is bruised. She is bruised right now. Right? Some of these shots are connecting. Oh, so many tempos, right? How many tempos in this game had to do with attacking the white queen? Initially, she came out with check, the knight blocked. She took a pawn, the bishop blocked. And then there was a rook move, another rook move, and another rook move to this square c2. Knight takes pawn, king here. Knight takes bishop. There would be queen takes rook. Could always, let's say, take with the rook. Rook takes pawn. 124 to 115. Although I like black position-wise, I'm starting to get a little bit nervous peeking over at this clock. Position's good. Clock, scary. 1:04. I'm assuming if you have 2341 rating, you know how to kick it into a high gear. You know how to play quick if you need to play quick. Maybe try and eliminate this knight. Bishop e3, take him out, take the rook, but the rook could always run away and grab a pawn. Bishop e3, grab on b2. It would be a different story if this knight was unprotected. You attack this unprotected knight. If he moves, you get the rook. But not the case here. Even on time again. Whoa. Okay, tricky stuff. Harassing this white queen again. Knight check. Oh. 47 seconds each. So go down to the wire. Uh-oh, tricky discoveries. These bishops are mean. These are mean bishops. Very, very mean. Wow. White is in some serious trouble. Less than 30 seconds. The king, you probably have to throw him in the corner. Uh-oh. Whoa. White is allowing this discover check. I guess it's okay. 27 seconds to 30 seconds. Okay. 20, less than 25. Whoa. Whoa. Rook f3. 22 seconds each. Rook f3, I guess. The king is trying to hide. He's trying to hide. Hide, king. Uh-oh. Rook up and over. Up and over. Less than 14. 10 seconds. Just make any move. Rook up and over. That's not mate, though. The queen needs to stay here to watch over g2. Whoa. Flying. Tricky knight. Oh, tricky discoveries. Double checkmate. Oh, man. That was a cool way to end. Look at that. Ah, man. Double checkmate. Did you catch that? That was slick. That was a slick ending. Both under 10 seconds or less. Nice finish. to a crazy game. I don't know that I don't know if that's a good imbalance to shoot with there. I think this is the critical point. Well, it certainly is, right? D3 or D4 are what come to mind. D3, there's H6, knight here, he's inconvenienced. But you're still keeping pressure on this structure. Anyhow, we have this. The white queen got kicked around. Runs away from the rook on E8. C8, hits with the knight, hits with the rook again. Potential discovered tricks here, discovered tricks against the king. And then the crazy. Double check. Mate. Cool finish.